He's the man who's developing brain machines to provide the Neuralink for our next Matrix-like interface to link humans and computers. Did you get all that? Well, here's an easier way of saying it. Your brain will be jacked up to your computers. But before he makes a Neuralink for your brain to interact with machines, he's using Starlink to connect us all to the internet. Allow us to show you what Elon Musk's Starlink satellites could do to Earth.
You're watching Tech Binge.
It was in 2015 when SpaceX CEO Elon Musk announced that he planned to cover the world with a network of more than 4,000 satellites to provide high-speed, global internet coverage with the introduction of the Starlink internet system. In 2021, SpaceX revealed new details for a Gen 2 system designed to complement the first-generation constellation to meet the growing demand for more broadband coverage around the world. This interconnected network has already rolled out its beta program and intends to reach 30,000 satellites to provide reliable and fast internet to everyone on Earth. Let's first get into the current state of the internet. As of January 2021, it's been identified that there are about 4.7 billion active internet users worldwide. That only represents about 60% of the global population. This means that roughly 40% of the total population of people remain offline from the internet. Can you imagine? Since the internet is a vital source of today's information, a reliable tool in the modern world, as the most basic source of knowledge, it is surprising to hear about so many that don't take the internet for granted like we do. But the good news is, advancement in technology has fast-tracked global internet access, and we can thank the lucky stars that it's still estimated that every person on Earth will have internet access by 2069. Then, when you think about it, this is far too long. The demand for internet access globally must be immediate. Today's modern world relies heavily on internet access. Then consider the COVID-19 hysteria, with billions trying to work at home as much as possible. A new surge in the urgency to get everyone connected has increased from rural US, the Pacific Islands, Southeast Asia, and all the way to sub-Saharan Africa. The need for connectivity has risen higher since the birth of the World Wide Web. This is why tech companies are looking at a solution that seems to be the most promising answer: satellite broadband. And Elon Musk's Starlink is at the forefront. Much like his earlier successful promises of providing reliable battery technology to power electric vehicles, Elon Musk's jubilant SpaceX reusable rocket technology that is pushing the space race is totally aligned with pushing satellites in space and providing that Cosmo connection to provide us all on Earth with the internet. And following suit, why we all love Elon, Musk is focused on providing fast, reliable and affordable internet to all of us on Earth. This is what he announced back in 2015 when he introduced the world to a hushed project that SpaceX was working on called Starlink. Let's get into the details about Starlink. Starlink is a satellite internet constellation project operated by Elon Musk's SpaceX, and aside from other space reconnaissance missions, they intend to provide satellite internet access to most of the Earth. SpaceX started product development in 2014 and was initiated in 2016 when SpaceX requested permissions from the US government to operate a massive network of 4,425 satellites, plus in-orbit spares to provide high-speed global internet coverage. With a budget of at least $10 billion, this decade-long project has the mission to mass-produce thousands of small satellites and launch them into low Earth orbit. Working with the US Federal Communications Commission, which approved an initial launch of 800 satellites to create an orbiting digital communication array that mostly initially covers the US, including its territories of Puerto Rico and the US Virgin Islands and Guam. The overall mission is to provide a system that provides a wide range of broadband and communication services for residential, commercial, industrial, government and professional users worldwide. And amazingly, this first-generation satellite internet constellation will provide a space-based alternative to cable, fiber optics, and other terrestrial internet access currently available. And who needs the hang-ups? Starlink plans to eliminate all of that and provide instant connectivity to remote areas which would otherwise have no capability of acquiring internet services. It shouldn't matter if you're in the backwoods or isolated places down under. Each satellite that SpaceX sends into orbit has the size of an average car, measuring 4 by 1.8 by 1.2 meters, with each weighing almost 400 kilograms. That's without its solar panels extended. These satellites will be placed in low Earth orbit between 714 and 823 miles above the Earth. From 2 prototype test flight satellites launched in 2018, SpaceX has already launched roughly 1,800 satellites into space. Then in 2019, the US FCC submitted filings to the International Telecommunication Union on behalf of SpaceX to arrange for 30,000 additional Starlink satellites to supplement the intended 12,000 already approved for low Earth orbit. Having more satellites would mean more bandwidth and faster speeds. Remember that satellites act as Neuralinks, so the more links, the better the relay. In October 2020, Starlink opened its public beta, with SpaceX disclosing that it was already servicing more than 10,000 customers. Musk also claims that Starlink has shipped more than 100,000 satellite internet terminals to customers in 14 countries. Each Starlink terminal includes a satellite dish and a Wi-Fi router, which directly receives internet access through the existing satellite constellation array. Let's talk about how Starlink works. As a satellite internet service, Starlink transmits a signal directly to your location. First, the internet service provider acquires the internet signal via fiber from the satellite relays in space. This signal is moved to a central location called a Network Operations Center, which is then transmitted directly to individual customers. When you have your personal Starlink account, you'll receive internet signal using individual satellite dishes included in each Starlink terminal package. So wherever on Earth you go, you'll be able to access your own Starlink internet. As for Starlink's internet service, it is sold directly to customers currently in rural areas around the world and touts 100 megabits per second download and 20 megabits per second upload speeds. While these speeds are considerably slower than many other offers from service providers, the potential for upgrades is immense. If you've traveled around the globe and purchased internet in different countries, you'll know most plans have a data cap, but Starlink won't pester customers with such limits. Currently, Starlink's beta service comes with a price tag of $99 per month, with an upfront cost of $499 to cover the Starlink kit, which includes all the necessary hardware such as a small satellite dish, a router, power supply, and mounting tripod. While currently on beta, SpaceX believes that it can achieve global serviceability very soon. You should be aware of Starlink Gen 2. As mentioned earlier, Starlink is currently in beta mode and services only select regions in select countries, and those chosen to run the beta test. But the coverage map will grow considerably as more satellites join the constellation. In fact, Elon Musk has already revealed new details about plans for the next generation of satellites in its Starlink internet system, and the details will blow your mind. According to the plans of the Gen 2 Starlink satellites, SpaceX intends to use its Starship rocket as the primary vehicle to deliver the Gen 2 into orbit. The Gen 2 Starlink satellites are heavier and will be larger to generate more power than the first designs. This will allow the satellites to support expanded capabilities for SpaceX's network and accommodate additional payloads in the future. These new upgrades will provide more capability for the network to ensure better and more consistent global internet coverage. And now, for the part that will really blow your mind. SpaceX intends to use its new rockets, with its increased size and loading capabilities, to deliver 400 satellites into orbit at once. If that doesn't amaze you, then wait till you see our next videos on rise of SpaceX and Starlink. So hit that like and subscribe button, leave your comments down below, and we'll see you in the next one.